Welcome back to another Vector's Vision coverage of your Southeast Tutoring Monday Night Truck Series, where we are in the final race where we determine your final four for next week. Right there, you see Garrett Helminger, Sean Langton, Ross Phillips, Morgan Cook, Larry Dickerson, Thad Miller, Brian Hennings, and Joe Turkle are racing. We have one currently in the eliminated status. That is Brian Hennings. But everything else is up for contention. Right now, Garrett Helminger is basically pointed in unless he absolutely screws up tonight. Sean Langton locked in with a win. Morgan Cook, we saw him win last week. Kind of the surprise winner. Locked in to the championship race. And we are live from Martinsville Motor Speedway. Or I guess it's just Martinsville, as most people say. The paperclip where Sean Langton on pole, no surprise. You see him here rolling. So Sean Langton on pole. To his outside, you got Nicholas Presley. We saw him last week kind of get in there and throw a wrinkle in these guys' plans by being a pretty decent and dominant car. Larry Dickerson carrying the sponsor of this race, the Angelman's scheme. Sitting at third, you have Garrett Helminger in the 77. That orange and white on the outside. And Morgan Cook for the 51, sitting in fifth. There you go. We got a lot of laps, 150 around. It's a short track. We'll see if anybody can play spoilers. He's got the Go Frogs on the back of that. See that pace car makes a big fat left-hander down pit road, which leaves us with the leaders as we await the green flag. Green flag is out, and we are racing in the Angelman's 150 from Martinsville already. Contact. Front straightaway. That lasted all of 30 seconds. Already. I think the 20. We'll go cockpit. We're going to back it up a little bit more here. Got loose. Just picked up the throttle a little too much there. Spun those back tires on the restart, and away they went. So that's going to bring out your first caution. That was pretty short-lived. And already I know a lot of guys talk about they're ready for thinking today would be a pretty interesting race. A lot of good racing involved. And already we get the green flag and we're not racing. So with Sean Langton leading the way with Nicholas Presley right behind him. But we're going to step away. You're watching live coverage of the Southeast Tutoring 150 for the Southeast Truck Series. The Angelman 150 live from Martinsville. And we're back. Short pace laps, short track. Green flag back out. Already, you can see Sean Langton here in the lead. He's going to make the way to the outside and make that hard braking zone down into 1 and 2 at the bottom. So a lot of guys are going to be searching. And it's really difficult to get in line, too. A lot of guys get side by side, and some people get stuck on the outside. And what happens in that situation is one of two things. You're either going to lose some positions because you're trying to find your way down to the bottom, or you can possibly have the risk of someone underneath you using too much brake or a little wheel hop, and they get a little high and they make contact with you. Let's hit this exciting button. Maybe it'll bring me to something more interesting than single file up front. Get back here. You see Ross Phillips and Morgan Cook there. They're racing for that 6th spot. And the 99. That's Dan Witt. We haven't seen him this year. Was right behind him is Brian Hennings, who was in the playoffs, but has since been eliminated. Not a lot of searching. I see Joe Turkle maybe going a little bit higher. Brian Hennings goes really high to maybe let Joe Turkle by. He does. We're kind of stuck on Dan Witt here with this camera. McKinney. You see McKinney get passed by Morgan Cook. Ross Phillips dives under to McKinney. That's going to be for that 6th spot. We know Ross Phillips was looking for it earlier from Morgan Cook. This time he's trying to take it from McKinney. Another good little braking zone, and he's going to have it cleared. So now McKinney's under fire from Dan Witt, who is also going to take that's another spot away. So McKinney's going to get passed for 2 positions in 1 lap. And now Joe Turkle is starting to hound him for that 9th. Near that 9th and 8th spot. It's going to be interesting. Already 14 laps into this race. It started not that long ago. 1 caution so far. 5 laps. Ooh, McKinney maybe a little bit loose. He dives it hard in with a really weird entry there. And he might be letting Turkle go here. He is. And now the 07. I think it's Roger. Yeah, Roger Chastain is in 13th, but he's trying to make his way back up through the field. Maybe he can unlap himself. See, there's Brown. Josh Brown looking to the outside of Roger Chastain here. He's going to keep that spot on the outside. Runs into the wall. Pretty good corner from being on the outside. He's in the wall again hard. He's going to lose that spot fully now. He dives it back toward the bottom. The 07 does. And the 67, they now file in line toward the bottom. You see already it's got to be loose. We almost lost Josh Brown there. Back in, kind of loosened up on him. There's Morgan Cook. He's made his way out in front. And the 77 to Garrett Helmlinger is all over the back bumper of Larry Dickerson. Dickerson basically needing a win to get in today. So he needs to stay just close enough to where maybe he can try maybe a Ross Chastain type move to get in front and win the race. He's trying to roll around. But as these two go, they are already about 5 seconds behind first and second. That's Sean Langton and Nick Pressey. Sean Langton's made his way into this league at the beginning of the season and has absolutely dominated. I think right there you saw the 20 of Kyle Stewart roll in there. He's 22 laps behind. Remember, he was involved in that first caution of the race. Let's get back here and look at these guys. See McKinney still doing it out with Roger and Brown involved as well. These guys are just kind of stuck side by side. McKinney's drive off a little bit better than Roger's. Roger doing everything in his will. Please let me clear Joshua McKinney. But as of right now, it's just not going to be good enough. There he goes. But a really hard break into the corner for McKinney. Keeps him still even, just when he thought he's leaving. Really bad corner for Roger there. He's going to lose all of those spots. He's going to lose 2 spots. Hard these guys run. Josh Brown really wanting to slide that nose underneath. You know, this is one thing this is making me think is how many of these guys are willing to move people in front of them if they're really getting in their way? Because with how loose these trucks are, I just don't know how well you can get in the back of somebody. Kenny gets in the curbs of 3 and 4. Gets a little bit bent out of shape. Not too bad. Woo! Saw Josh Brown slide up the track a little bit as McKinney kind of came down into that bottom lane just a hair. But they keep him pointed in the right direction. Morgan Cook looks to have lost 2 spots. He's going to drop back to 7th. Was running in the top 5. You see a little damage to the outside of his truck. Maybe he lost a little bit of that handling and went up and met the wall on exit.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
So let's see what happened here. Let's go previous. Loose. Just loose into the corner. And that's going to bring out our second caution of the race at lap 33. See how many guys come down pit road. You see Garrett Helmlinger. He's on pit road. Slides them. Morgan Cook as well. Maybe a splash of fuel and go. I'm not seeing much more of a different strategy than that. They'll roll off, staying in third and fourth. How many people have stayed out? I am seeing none. I think Sean Langton may have come in as well. He did. So Sean Langton third, Larry Dickerson fourth, Garrett Helmlinger fifth, Thad Miller sixth. But they'll all jump up one more spot. Larry Hennings came down pit road. He's going to lose positions to all these guys. So Nicholas Pressey stays out. 36 lap run. Doing the math in my head. Long way to go. So maybe he's thinking he'd get to lap 70 or so before he pits to cut this race into two. But the difference is, I think there's going to be a lot of caution. So let's see. Pace car lights are still on. So with that, we're going to take a break. You are watching the Southeast Tutoring Truck Series live from Martinsville in what is the Angelman's 150. We'll be right back. You see they've made their way back around. Green flag back out. Coming to lap 39 of 150. Already said Nick stayed out. And we had a lot of guys come down pit road there to really throw a wrinkle in this race so far. Fresher tires for a lot of these guys up front. Or maybe just more fuel. See, Morgan's really trying to get involved here. There's Sean Langton. He tried. Morgan Cook and Stewart and McKinney right there on the camera. Kind of fades back down. He gets Turkle in there as well with Garrett Helmlinger. McKinney really trying to pick up a spot or two here. He's behind Morgan Cook, who sits in that 6th spot. So Josh McKinney, Brian Hennings, Morgan Cook looking for that 6th, 7th, and 8th. See if they can't mess these around a little bit. But you can't count out Stewart there. Stewart's trying to get back around. He's 26 laps behind, so his night is probably over. But why not have a little fun and race these guys kind of hard? Kenny gets underneath Morgan to the best he can. Not quite able to get it to stick. He slid up the track a little bit, lost some speed. You see they're running two slightly different lines. He kind of pushes Morgan Cook down the back straightaway. He's going to outbrake. Try to outbrake. Not going to be good enough. They're going to be even. Morgan Cook, who is locked in next week, is A-okay if these guys want to be crazy like this. He's not mad. If he didn't have a win to lock himself in, he might have been a little bit more upset about some of this, but he's doing fine. There you see Ross Phillips trying to point his way in to the championship four. Rocking behind Roger who is teammates with Nicholas Pressey in the 94, who's now second behind Sean Langton. Sean Langton did complete that pass. Nick is 46 laps in. Nick might be trying to split this in half, but not quite to that halfway mark. Still got about another 30 laps till he hits that point. You really see Ross going at it here. And he finally gets clear. Starting to drive away from Roger a little bit here. Thad Miller basically needing to win to get in. Currently sitting a lap back. Kind of losing some time here and some speed. Maybe a little too much damage to that truck, more than he thought. Gotta Gonna bring out a caution. Just under 100 laps to go. Saw the 15 spin. I do want to hear his onboard though, just because why not? You hear the downshift. Get light. See the caution light comes out. Didn't really get rolling real quick. Kind of maybe wanted the caution to come out there. What do I know? Anyway, go back up here to this TV3 and see if we have any takers on pit road. See Morgan Cook. He's coming in. Maybe to fix some of that damage he's got on there. I finally see tires being taken. That's 4 tires for those guys. So that should give them some speed. But we're going to take a break here on lap 54 of 150. Our third caution of the race. You're watching VSRL's coverage of the Southeast Tutoring Truck Series. We're in the third race of 4 in the playoffs. You're watching the Angelman's 150 live from Martinsville. We will be right back with live coverage. See the pace car back in. McKinney, pretty decent jump there in that first spot. Sean Langton making a big push. Let me do something here on this other screen. All right, who knows? See, Sean Langton regains the lead, and Nick Pressey right on his tail as they come to complete lap 61 to make it 62. These short track races, pretty short, to be honest with you. Another caution that I already saw, the 96 is involved with a massive pile up back here. You think we're watching Dallas traffic? Yo, I know you'll see those trees moving, right? It ain't just me. '96 outside of 77. I'd say he got sent from behind. Could have been that good, I don't know. Who knows, but 4 cautions, 17 laps. Let's see. Sean Langton didn't quite have the lead there. I think Espressi does. Espressi has control. He'll probably get a good launch here on this outside and get it rolling.
Green flag, green flag.
Maybe he wasn't the leader. Sean Langton is gone.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
This is quickly running into... Probably shouldn't say it on the stream, but an S show. As yet again, more cautions. Cautions breed cautions. Caution number 5 should run us to about 25 laps of pacing. 70 laps completed, 150. But we saw that. Just everybody. You saw the 20 self-spin at the top. But we are going to take another break. We shall see what happens the remaining half of this race. We should get to about the halfway point by the time the next one starts. But you are watching Southeast Tutoring Truck Series live from Martinsville, where it is the cutoff race before the Final Four go dancing in Vegas. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Green, green, green.
See, they kind of get rolling pretty smooth here. You saw the 77. He came down pit road, and we got another spinner here. 74 catches it. He's still rolling, so we shouldn't have a stoppage, I don't think. We're still good. Good save there by the 74. Could have been an iffy ending to his race there. Seems pretty smooth. Let's go back to this TV2 look. Got the 78 here. That's Randy Schweitzer, 14 laps back. Kind of racing here with the 58, Thad Miller. But guess what, guys? The Thad Miller is back on the lead lap. Caution. Gotta be caution, right? No caution. Continue. Rolling. 7, 94, 99. That's Dane Witt in the 99. Larry Dickerson making his way downtown, walking fast. Seven, Sean Langton. 94, Nicholas Pressey. 99, Dane Witt. And the 25, Larry Dickerson. Top 4. Go a little bit further back. In 5th, Ross Phillips. In that 6th position, the 67, Josh Brown. A little bit further back in 7th is the 51 of Morgan Cook, who's going to... And you saw that right there. It looks like a little contact. 20 and 15 brings out our 6th caution. 68 laps to go in this race. We'll be right back as I have to go deal with something. And we're back from Martinsville, where we are in a little bit of a slump here with green flag runs. We are currently looking at cautions, breeding more cautions, which can happen in short track racing. Kind of makes you wonder if there's some blood boiling within these drivers. 65 laps remaining. We had scheduled 150. Sean Langton, Nicholas Pressey have led majority of this race. almost all of it entirely, actually. We had one stay out front. I think Josh McKinney led a couple laps under a caution. But we get that signal. 1 to green. Should get us back racing with about 63 laps to go. Helps to go back live, I guess. Sean Langton.
Green flag.
Green flag is back out. 63 laps remaining for Martinsville. Does Sean Langton pick up another win to add to his resume of his championship season? Or do we have a spoiler like Dan Witt in the 99 all red, making his way up there to the front with Nicholas Pressey in tow? Or do we have a surprise 4th addition to the playoffs? Does Larry Dickerson make his way up there to really make a bold move? Solid night, maybe just not having the car or the truck he needs to really compete with a chance to win, but consistently running in the top 5, he is. Ross Phillips back there right now, pointed in. Maybe he wants to get a win and lock himself in there. You don't have to worry about points anymore. Garrett Helminger really just got to kind of S the bed for him to not be able to make it in. Sitting in that 6th spot. See how chaotic it is back here, if it is at all. A lot of these trucks beat up farther back here in the field. Kind of looking like those Horned Frogs you saw in the back of that after they lost to the Big 12 championship this past weekend. Morgan Cook kind of searching around. He's locked on to that. I hate cautions. Okay, to be honest with you. I think he was a little hot there on the outside. See, he's loose. So Larry Dickerson's going to come down to his inside there. It looks like a lot of contact, but let's go 25. Let's go slow-mo. That looked like netcode. Well, we're starting to make our way to the end of this race. Just a lot of cautions in the way. Don't really know what we need to do to get rid of these cautions. Maybe these guys need to take a little bit of a chill pill. But that's short track racing, as Joe the Ghana would say, and Denny Hamlin fake voice. One lap to green. Sean Langton brings him back around. Green flag. Back in the air. Ross Phillips to his outside in the 1. 96, Josh McKinney right behind him. 94 already, you see him back there. Tipping out of line. More cautions. More cautions. More cautions, right? Nope. They got him moving. Get him moving, get him moving, get him moving. A lot of guys really loose. I kind of like this angle. I know you kind of lose part of the track, but you see how loose they are into the entries and on the exits of these corners with this angle. And then you see a lot of the contact happen. So it might be a little zoomed out, but guess what? You get to see everything. You see Sean Langton's driving away. See if Larry Dickerson survived. He did. No contact, but look at this. He's having to drive his way through the field. Trying to tell these guys, get the heck out of my way. I'm on a mission to get things done. I'm in a rush until life's no fun. Damn, he slams the 58. Get out of my way. I've got to be somewheres, and it's called the front. See, Larry's trying to make his way up there.
Alright, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
He's moving kind of slow. It's got to be him. There's no way that brought out a caution, right? Great. iRacing just wants there to be a caution. I guess the caution comes out because of 51, a little bit of a cell spin, but he got it moving and rolling and pointed in the right direction most of that run. So I'm not really sure what happened there, but good old iRacing there, I guess you got to say. But you are watching Southeast Tutoring Vectors Television live from Martinsville, and what is the Angelman's 150? We have seen now our 8th caution of the day, which should round us up to about 40 laps of caution. Of 150 scheduled laps, that is. But, let's go take a break. I'll be right back. You are going to keep seeing the coverage live on your screen, even though they're pacing. But you are watching Vectors Television live on the YouTube.
Green.
Green flag back out, and away we go. Live for Martinsville. Dan Witt leads it this time with Brian Hennings and the 77 of Garrett Helmlinger in the way. Brian Hennings goes wide. That's going to bring Nicholas Pressey back into it. Maybe I was going to see some 3 wide there. Everybody's kind of bottlenecked up here. Coming out of 39 laps to go. Sean Langton kind of stuck in traffic here. Not having a fun time. See there, kind of single filing it up here. What Larry Dickerson didn't want to see is the 94 and 7 get around him, but they both do. If he was able to stay in front, there's a chance he was able to maybe brace them kind of hard to the final / end of this race. Sean Langton has his eyes set still on Witt, hoping to get up there and put another check mark in that win column, and we have another caution. If you had to make a guess. I bet you Kyle Stewart is not having a fun day. Start at 7th. Currently running in the 15th position of 15 drivers. Here we go, baby.
Flag.
25 laps to go. Dan Witt, early lead into one. Sean Langton right behind him. Gets a little high. Here comes Larry Dickerson, who has to make a really bold move in order to move on to the championship 4. He dives in there kind of hard, slips up just a little bit. Maybe he'll be even with Sean Langton. Now he's going to force his way up there. Still driving. A lot of damage now. Probably feels like he had to do something there to keep Sean behind him. Larry Dickerson's going to drive with every little bit of might he's got. You see him, the bright red Dan Witt, right behind him, Larry Dickerson in second place. He's got it to about a second and a half. He needs to get closer than that to even stand a chance. Maybe he'll Ross Chastain it, run up against the wall. He's got about 21 laps to think about it, what he wants to do.
All right, man. Caution is
Another
out.
caution for him to think about it. Yet again, another caution. I feel like a broken record, and personally, I'm not a big fan of this many cautions. But we're going to back it up to about a whole lap before. You see the 77 here, the 94 at his outside, now behind him. They race on down to 3 and 4, and everything looks fine. They're just kind of single file. 94 kind of peeks to the outside here, but they hop back in line. And the 94 just dumps the 77, basically. Here we go, baby. Larry Dickerson, you got to do something here, bud.
Green, green, green.
Coming to the line. 16. Laps to go. Larry Dickerson trying with everything in his will and might. Trying with everything in his will and might.
Alright, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Alright, let's do this again. Again. Here we go.
Green, green, green.
Green flag. 10 laps to go. Larry Dickerson, a pretty good launch there. Remember, he's got to win to move on. He's trying. Sean Langton's going to try to dive to his inside. You see Dan Witt still in front of him, just a little bit stronger. About half, 2, maybe 3 truck lengths in front of him. Larry Dickerson, a pretty good dive in there to cut it down to about maybe 1.5 truck lengths. Can he do it again on the opposite side of the track as we see 8 laps to go? Another big wreck behind him.
Caution is out.
And they're still wrecking behind him. I'll be honest with y'all. I'm nervous. I'm nervous for this. See what happens here. 1 lap to green. Green flag is out. You see Dan Witt. He gets going. 2 laps to go. Sean Langton being pretty lenient with the 25 here. If the 25 can get close enough, maybe he tries to make that move to move himself on. But he's got to get close enough to do it. Sean Langton cutting him some slack still. 1 lap to go for Martinsville, where we're trying to lock in the final 3. Larry Dixon, you're going to try it, buddy. I don't think it's going to be good enough. Wow. Let's try to dissect this. You see, just not enough, didn't get there in time. 7 kind of bumps him out of the way and then just finishes off the race. Or that guy there, and just kind of finishes him off and sends him up the track. So Langton will finish second with that move, and that'll basically lock in your top 4, being Sean Langton, Morgan Cook, Ross Phillips, and Garrett Helminger. That's going to be your championship 4 for next week. With the move, it went the way it ended there. Could have maybe been a little bit better, but Larry Dickinson's going to end up finishing 5th here, and that's just going to kind of push him out of that picture. So let's dissect this thing with your top 3. Well, let's just go ahead and we'll talk to the outright winner, because we know for sure. I mean, without any argument or anything like that, we at least know who won this race, even though there was a cluster behind him. But Dan Witt in the 99. Dan Witt, you got a copy.
Hello.
Well,
it's hard to hear you.
No, yeah, you're good, but a lot of drama behind you. But it turns out you're just fine. You get out front and you kind of run away with it there, even though there was cautions breeding cautions. And you just looked really dominant in about that last 25% of this race.
Yeah, it's a rhythm track, so it's just started coming around for me, and just stayed with it. Got into a little bit of trouble about a third way through. Got the repairs fixed.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of people tonight not having the best and most fun time racing for sure. It was pretty chaotic out there. 12 cautions with a total of 60 laps, meaning over 30% of our race was under those cautions. Did that at all mess with strategy that you had to kind of mess around with tonight, or was it pretty straightforward and just race the guy in front of you?
Yeah, just race. Don't look in the mirror.
Yeah, man. Well, congratulations on your win. I know Martinsville can be not fun. Is this a track that you normally do pretty good at, or was this kind of a, well, shit, it kind of fell in my lap and it worked out well?
No, I love this track. I'd rather race here than anywhere else.
Yeah, man. Well, absolutely. I'm going to leave you up here. I'm going to bring up that guy that you raced with today who finished second. And with him finishing second, I do believe that we'll point him in with the 77 to Garrett Helminger. So, Ross, you got a copy?
How did I finish? What do you mean second? Sean was second.
He's not here. So you finished third. You're the only one getting the interview. I don't know where he's at. So this is all chaotic.
Oh, it's been extremely chaotic. A chaotic night, huh?
Yeah, no kidding.
Holy shit. Poor Larry.
I feel bad for Larry. You know, kind of his night.
Yeah, Sean didn't mean to.
Yeah, I don't think he did. Might be why Sean left. You know, I'm not speculating, but might be why Sean left so quickly. But yeah, you end up finishing third on what I was describing with Dan was just an up and down night for most guys. A lot of the Orange Speed guys. I mean, what a freaking roller coaster y'all went down, and for you to recover. for you to recover, I mean, you started fourth on that restart there at the end with 2 to go. That's a green-white checker, but you pick up that one extra spot with the incident with the 25, but you were just probably thinking, what do I need to do in order to make it on to that next round?
That was all that even mattered to me all night. Like, I'm no BS. That's all I cared about. Me and the team kept talking down there in the channel the whole time. Where do I need to be? Where do I need to be? Where do I need to be? Where's Thad? Where's Joe? Where's Larry? You know, I knew where Larry was. He, you know, for the last, I don't know, several days / several hours, it was saying he was scared he wasn't fast. And look at him. I mean, end of the race, he was there.
Yeah, he was running second. He was just waiting for his moment to pounce on Dan.
I was scared. I was waiting for him to dump Dan going into 1 or going into 3. I mean, I was waiting for it because I was talking to the team. I was like, well, if he dumps him, what happens if I end up just moving him up the track? You know, because, yeah, he's fighting for the win, but at the same time, that could end up turning into me fighting for the win / championship. So,
yeah, it gets kind of weird. The picture does. It does get whack if he ended up moving Dan out of the way and say Dan's not in it, and then it's you, Sean, and Ross.
right.
You are Ross. You, Sean, and Larry, they're fighting for the thing. I mean, I'm not that surprised, in my opinion. You know, just like Denny Hamlin once said, that's short track racing. So, you know, that's just how it is.
Right. At least it didn't turn into a Matt Kenseth situation, huh? Enjoy Logano?
Yeah, it's a good thing it didn't happen there. I don't think you want to be suspended for your championship race.
Right. It was a decent little race for everybody that, you know, wasn't tearing their stuff up. Some of the guys like Morgan and Garrett got stuck back there in the back, and man, it was nutty back there. I was watching it in the rear view. It was just nuts.
Yeah, I was definitely had my hands full going back. I'm not gonna lie, toward the end, I was like, I'm tired of covering all these wrecks. There's already been like.
Wait, so you're telling me you didn't fall asleep today?
I did not. No, I had to keep like, let me pay attention. Let me go here. I mean, we had 12 cautions for 60 laps, Ross. That's over 30% of this race.
You ain't got to tell me. My leg hurts. I kept asking Larry if he had any bananas throughout the race because my leg was cramping.
It's just back and forth all day. But, well, guys, I guess I got nothing there. It's just an Orange Speed little talk show up here today since, you know, everyone else wanted to leave. Nobody wanted to hang out. Right.
Everybody just, fuck this shit, I'm gone.
Yeah,
it's
basically.
Sorry, Sean's parents. I know you're still watching.
That's all right. I have a slip up every now and again too. So, but you know, I guess if no one else wants to do this thing, Ross and Dan, y'all have any last words to all the fans?
No, just thanks. You know, thanks Garrett, thanks Morgan, thanks the whole Orange Speed team. Dan, thanks for coming in and racing with us, man.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. Thanks for coming in and whooping our ass like you're not supposed to. I mean, that's just rude. Yeah, believe it or not, Adam, this guy, he was in our practice session earlier and just asked if, you know, we had a race going on. I was like, yeah, a league session going on here a little bit. Joined, and he ends up being one of the cleanest and fastest.
Looky there. Sometimes you get lucky finding randoms on the internet. That doesn't always happen.
To bring him in. He might actually compete with Sean at some of these races. Yeah, he is at a road course.
That's one of the things I said during the broadcast. I was like, let's see if Sean can add yet again another check mark to his win column.
Right? Yeah. I debated on dumping him a couple of times just for the hell of it, but I was like, I can't do that. I ain't built like that.
Yeah. But, well.
On to next week it is, right?
On the next week, man, you get to run for a championship. I'll get a hold of you, awesome. The 4 of y'all.
Did Garrett make it?
Garrett's going to be in. There's no way he's not. He had to basically fall off a map for him to not make it in, so I think he's good.
I mean, I've seen him do that.
Well, he won it. He tried there for a little bit, but he somehow made his way up there to 9th with Morgan, so, I mean, he'll be fine.
Good. All right, buddy. Appreciate you
absolutely
broadcasting, buddy.
Yeah.
We'll see you Thursday, I think. You broadcast on Thursday, right?
I do. I will be there Thursday.
For the boring race? Yep.
No shit. I mean, no darn. No darn.
We'll be yelling the whole time, wake up, Adam.
Yeah. The next race is Thursday.
Yeah, it's a IndyCar league.
Yeah. Season 4 IndyCar. Road course racing. Daytona.
At Daytona Road.
Never done that.
It's a blast. Holy.
Those IndyCars basically level the field, unless...
Man, I didn't think I was ever going to have so much fun doing it, man. I've been practicing like crazy, dude. They are an absolute blast.
Yeah,
I have to try it then.
They're pretty fun. Yeah. Draft on them is insane.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to get out of here. You boys have a good night.
All right. Later, guys.
Thanks, Adam. Bye.
But let's go and wrap this up real quick. You saw Dan Witt in the 99 when he moves on to, well, he doesn't move on at all, actually. He just shows up and shows all these guys, this is what I'm going to do now that I'm joining in this league. Sean Langton, well, ends up finishing second. He has, a little bit of contact with the 25, but the 25 was really looking maybe to make a move there and win to get in, but I think he's going to come up just a little bit short. And you saw Ross Phillips, he ends up finishing third there. And sorry, I saw a message. He ends up finishing third after that, and he'll move on. So you have Sean Langton win. He's playing for the championship. Morgan Cook last week won at Texas. He wins. He's playing for a championship. The 77 and the 1. That's Ross Phillips and Garrett Helmlinger. They are both in on points and will compete for a championship. So, what is the championship, you ask? Next week, 1.5 miles, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. That is next Monday, our final race of the season. And we will crown a champion in the Southeast Tutoring Truck Series. But for tonight, that is it for Martinsville and the Angelman's 150, where we competed 150 laps around Martinsville. It was caution-filled, but the end was pretty significant through a wrinkle and how everything worked. Until the next broadcast, which is actually Thursday. It'll be IndyCar on Thursday. Live from Daytona. If you want to see a little change in scenery, come on out and join us for race number 2 in that season 4. But until then, I hope all of y'all have a great night. Don't forget to subscribe. Check the point standings if you want to get involved as well. It's in the link. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and good night.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.